On tonight's episode of the Walkin Rollin Costumes virtual party, we have one of our most seasoned builders, as well as our first costume reveal of the year.
And it starts now.
It feels like we achieved something bigger than we originally thought we'd ever do. And now look at it, it's grown huge.
My son Reese was born with cancer. What it ended up doing is it crushed his spinal cord. And when he was 3 years old, he got his first wheelchair and he wanted to be Wall-E for Halloween. So I thought, I can build one. I can, try and see what I can come up with. And so it started with just, building a simple costume, a Wall-E costume around his wheelchair out of a Dell computer box. It has exploded into something that was the inspiration behind Walkin Rollin Costumes.
Welcome to the Walkin Rollin Costumes virtual party. My name is Lon Davis.
And I'm Reese Davis.
And we are the co-founders and creative designers of the Walkin Rollin Costumes. And I just wanted to let everyone know, we are doing a fundraiser here. We are trying to raise funds to make more costumes for kids in wheelchairs, free of charge to the families. And you can help us out by texting WRC 2020 VP to 707070 in order to make a donation. And we'll talk more about that, but you can do that at any time during this presentation. So let's move on to our show tonight. Tonight we have one of our seasoned builders. Katherine Hogan has built more costumes than anyone else as a volunteer for Walkin Rollin Costumes. So we were able to speak with her a little bit, and she reminisces about some of the past costumes that she's built over the years. So let's hear the story. All right, we're back with Walkin Rollin Costumes. I'm Lon Davis. With me as always is Reese.
Hello.
Hello. And today we are visited by Katherine Hogan, who has been one of our volunteers for quite a few years. Let's see, I believe, Katherine, that you have built more costumes for us than any other volunteer. So tell us about when you started and how you got involved.
Well, of course, Lon, you and I have been friends for a long time. We went to college together many moons ago.
We won't talk about how long ago.
What's that?
We won't talk about how long ago.
We won't talk about how long. No, it's been longer than I'd like to admit. But no. So, and of course, I've known Reese since he was, wee sized, and it was really fun when we'd see you at the Comic-Con, and that's when I think I first learned, or maybe it was on social media when I first learned that you guys were doing wheelchair costumes. And I always thought it was really cool that you were doing that for your son for, a very obvious reason that let's make being in a wheelchair fun,
Right.
Doesn't mean that's doesn't mean, it means that you have the opportunity to do more for Halloween rather than just be in a costume that's in a wheelchair.
Right.
So that's when I first heard about it, was through, I think, Comic-Con, when we would run into you there. And, but yeah, so I forget, I think you had advertised your first workshop. And I was like, yeah, that sounds like something I would love to do. I love Halloween. I've always loved Halloween. Mel and I used to do parties every year or every other year and go all out. I've always loved dressing up for Halloween. I love making Halloween costumes. So making them for, kiddos in wheelchairs, I'm like, ooh, challenge accepted. So that's just sounded like a lot of fun. And, but the first two costumes, I worked on with you guys were actually through the workshops.
Right.
And I can't take full credit for those because, it's a group effort.
Right.
Peacock Princess was the first one. And I remember our other college colleague, classmate, I guess, Cliff, and his daughter Grace was the model for the skirt that we made for the Peacock Princess. I still have a photo of that, by the way.
Oh yeah, we'll show it right here.
And she's like, I think she's like a teenager now, but she was just like a little kid then. And but yeah, it was a nice group effort. It was really neat to see all these families coming together. We just kind of divvied up the work, and we would execute an entire costume in like one afternoon. It was kind of kind of wild.
Yeah, and the Peacock Princess was that our first year?
Yes.
Yeah, so it was 2015.
Okay.
And that was an unusual costume just because it was our first original costume. It wasn't based on anything.
Oh, right. Yeah, I guess I hadn't thought of that before. Most of the costumes I do are just sort of like, we're making up this character today. Guess what? Yeah.
That one had all the peacock feathers and
Yeah.
all the different colors.
Yes, it was tall. It was like I'm sure we'll put some pictures here with
Yes.
this. But yeah, it was like this tower of peacock feathers, and it was really fun. I mean, made the chair look like a throne, which was the whole point of being a princess, is that you're sitting on your throne. But and then the following year we did Butterfly Princess.
Yes.
And,
Another original concept.
yes, and that was another workshop costume. So again, I can't take full credit for that. It was a group effort, and there was you guys had many volunteers, families, everyone helping out, hot gluing a whole lot of butterflies to.
I believe we made 100 handmade butterflies in one afternoon.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
I loved that year, that workshop, because there was the photo shoot that we did right at the reveal. And so the photo showed that sweet little girl in the costume. I forget her name.
Zaylee.
Was that?
Zaylee.
Zaylee, yes. And she was so excited and proud. You could tell how beautiful she felt.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really cool to see those photos because it was so fresh and new for her. And I was excited. I never did hear, how Halloween went for her, but I'm assuming it was like so fun for her to be treating it.
I'm sure she had a great time.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And then I believe after that you did
Mermaid Princess.
Mermaid Princess. You have a thing with princesses.
But actually, Mermaid Princess, that year, I think, for some reason I was too busy. I wasn't able to make the workshop. I think you guys had.
Right.
So
So
I
you
was
did it on your own, kind of at home.
Yeah.
at home.
Yeah.
And I was surprised that it worked out really well. I was able to work on it here and there. I had time to really, get crazy and fun and elaborate with it. And I want to say that one's kind of my personal favorite. I love working with fabrics. Specifically, I love working with fabric whenever possible. And that one I got to use Pelon, which is like that thick stuff that goes in the top of your hat or on your collar, and that's what makes it stiff. It makes the whole, holds the form of the shell. And then I put wire in it, and I love it so much because every costume is a unique problem, and that's my favorite thing to do is to be creative and do something I've never done before, and just like, what if I were to do this, how would I do it? And that's, just figuring it out as I went. And it was really fun, and I was really happy with how it turned out. It was really pretty. It was really easy. It just sat in the chair. It just stood up.
Right.
It didn't need to be attached to the chair even. And I remember seeing the fun
top of it.
Yeah, because it was a clamshell. It was a clamshell, and so she got on the bottom of it, and it
went in her seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then it had and then I had the big giant styrofoam ball pearls that stuck to the side of it. So and I remember seeing the kiddo and the photo of her in that costume, and she looked really great with her mermaid outfit in it. And so
I was very excited about that one.
Yeah, I know, it's really cool to see it. It was probably my favorite one to do. And then this year, which is the one we're kind of like talking about today, which is the big deal. Is for actually it was the first one I did for a little guy.
It was not a princess.
Not a princess. No princess costume this year. And Lon, I loved it when it's funny because like right about end of July, beginning mid-August, I'm itching to do a Halloween costume, wheelchair costume, and I messaged you like, so what's up? Are we doing this year or what? And you're like, give me a call. We have a challenge.
Yeah. Well, we weren't able to have the workshop due to COVID, so we had this short list of kids that we were trying to meet all their costumes.
So we had ready to go for the spring as a workshop that we didn't have a chance to, so we had to make them this fall.
Right. And so I think we only had like 5 kids that we were trying to knock out all their costumes before Halloween, and and I gave you the list of costumes, and one of them you like immediately jumped on one. I want that one. That one's mine.
So it's A League of Their Own, right?
Yes.
It's a family costume for the movie A League of Their Own. Ironically, and like no joking, I hadn't seen that movie in at least 5 years, if not longer.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had just watched it, I want to say not even 7 days prior to our conversation. And so when I saw that on the list, like, oh, I just watched that movie. I love it. It's gonna be fun. Let's do it.
Yeah, so you took that on. Now, that one, I know I don't want to get too much into telling what it is, because we're going to show the reveal here in just a little bit and show, Jackson's reaction to it and Mom's reaction to it. But I know that there were they didn't really know what they wanted from the movie.
Right.
Kind of we know we want a League of Their Own costume, but there were kind of, multiple things that were thrown out as, what can we do for our boy?
Dugout.
Yeah. What were some of the ideas, other than what you ended up making, what were some of the ideas you kind of came up with?
Right. So the challenge with this one, which is obviously, the whole point of the wheelchair costume is that the wheelchair is the centerpiece of the costume, right? So you're not just dressed up in some costume just sitting in a wheelchair. So the wheelchair is the costume. And so usually it's a structure, right? Some type of structure. And you're like, okay, so what structures are part of that movie? You know, like
it's a challenge.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's clear when you're talking like Batman, the Batmobile,
right.
This thing's really like pretty obvious, but like for this one, it was like, is it really a structure that just, it's like part of the movie, I mean, there's, so there was the tour bus was one of the ideas, but there was only like maybe 2 or 3 scenes in the tour bus.
Yeah.
And like, it wasn't really a character. It was, as far as the movie is concerned, the characters in the bus were the characters, but the bus itself wasn't. What else did we?
There was
the dugout.
Yeah, Jimmy Dugan in the dugout.
Yeah, Jimmy Dugan in the dugout. But we're like, how does it look like a dugout? Like a dugout's like long, like it's really like it's expansive, and it fits a whole team of like 20-something players in it. Like. Right. What am I gonna have, like a wheelchair? That, Reese?
With room to spare.
Right, with room, right. And then you got this one like lonesome, ball player and this big like it just didn't make any sense. And then like something that wide would be really awkward to do on a wheelchair. Right. So
I think,
it's really
I think you talked about the chocolate bar sales. I forget his name. It's Gary Marshall's character.
Harvey. Chocolate bars? Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, but he's a character, but again, there wasn't really a structure. Right. It's not about putting, him in the stands, but the stands is a chair.
Right. You're not really changing the wheelchair a whole lot. So.
Right. So we put other chairs around him to be in the stadium. Yeah, it was really complicated. Yeah, it was a real challenge to think like how do what structure do we turn into his chair? But or turn his chair into. Right. But I'm really happy with. Actually, I won't say what it is yet, but it was actually. I'm gonna give Mel, my husband, credit for the idea because we've been brainstorming about it over coffee for like weeks. Right? I just don't know, And finally, he came up with the idea, and I was like, actually, I think that could work. Yep. And I did a little research. Pulled up old Pinterest, good old friend Pinterest, had lots of good photos to reference. And I was really happy with how it turned out. And I was able to add an interactive piece to it so that our kiddo in the chair could have, fun with it, being the character. And it wasn't just a structure he's just in, but also something where he can make it talk and it feels more interactive for him and that the kids are just going to be coming up and interacting with it the whole time in whatever future Halloween, non-COVID Halloween we're going to have, but but I think it'll be a lot of fun for him and then also the other people he's celebrating Halloween with will have a lot of fun with it. So
sure.
Welcome to another episode of the sneak peek of our new costume. And right now we are gluing the PVC pipe frame. This locks it in to where it can't move and it won't shift. That way we can build the rest of the costume off of it. Because if it doesn't fit the chair, it won't work. So Cal and I are priming it with this purple stuff, and then Lon is gluing it with this stuff, and that locks it in, and we can't move it afterwards.
So these parts are already primed, glued, and ready to go. And so once we get the frame all built,
We got that piece waiting to be glued.
this piece down here still needs to be glued. And that's just to build the master frame.
Then we got another piece of the frame to build.
All right.
Dad, what's my next section?
Well, you'll find out on the next episode of Sneak Peek of the latest costume. Say bye, Callan.
Bye.
Syrup. I love syrup. Oh, hi. Hey, it's me. It's me, Buddy the Elf. Guess what? I've teamed up with Walkin Rollin costumes. We're going to pay for a lot of Walkin Rollin costumes, the wheelchair costumes. It'll be so much fun. You know how we're going to do it? Video calls, one-on-one with me, Buddy the Elf. I'll send you a link, and you'll get on your computer, and we'll talk just like a video call. It'll be so much fun.
That's right. That was Buddy the Elf, and he's calling straight from his workshop at the North Pole.
Uh-huh.
And what we are doing, we are partnering with him to help raise more funds
Yes.
to build more costumes for kids in wheelchairs.
That's right.
And the way that it works is if you donate $20,
Uh-huh.
you can book a time for Buddy to make a video conference call with you, your family members, your child, anyone that would like to have a one-on-one talk with Buddy.
Oh, yeah.
He will be making the calls
Oh,
between
yeah.
the end of November to the first couple weeks in December.
Yeah.
And he will schedule the time with you so that you know when to be ready on your computer and have a one-on-one
That's right,
call with
yeah.
him. And of course, yes, you can record the entire call so you can play it back as often as you'd like.
Yes.
Here's more details on what it would be, what the call would be like, and how it all works.
Sometimes Captain Crunch, even for
Oh.
dinner.
You ever put syrup on your Captain Crunch?
No.
Oh, you should. It's good on everything. It's good on Captain Crunch. It's good on spaghetti. Pop-Tarts. You ever eat a Pop-Tart?
Yes.
And I just mix it all up good together. It's all wonderful. Everybody loves it. Everybody loves it. You should know that. You're a kid. How old are you?
7.
7? Papa's 547. I'm only about 35. But I'm a human, but it's nice to meet another human who shares my affinity for elf culture.
So that's how it works. It's very simple. And if you'd like to book your call now, go to www.walkinrollin.org/VP 2020 for Virtual Party 2020. When you get there, there's an icon for booking your call with Buddy the Elf. Do it now. There are limited spots available. He can't make calls all the time because he's got to do a lot of work for Santa's workshop. So there's a limited number of calls that you can get this. So book it now. All right. Thank you very much. Remember, all donations go to help build more costumes for kids in wheelchairs. Thank you.
We can talk about your birthday, or we can talk about Halloween, or Thanksgiving, or your dog, or your cat, or Christmas. We could talk about Christmas. There's so much to do to get ready for Christmas. Oh my gosh. Santa's coming. There's so many toys to make. Oh my gosh, I've got to get going. Oh, hey, book your call. Video one-on-one with Buddy the Elf now. Bye.
All right, we're back. And just wanted to let you know, we saw a comment from Robert up in Canada on our YouTube broadcast, and just wanted to say thank you for the comments. And yes, Poe Dameron's X-Wing is one of our favorites too. So
Yes.
thanks for commenting on that. So for the past couple episodes, we've been talking to our friend Bert,
Yeah.
who's been working on some working on a costume for his neighbor, and he's been kind of showing us as how his process is moving along. So let's check in with Bert again and see how it's going. Get him on FaceTime here.
Hey Lon,
Hey,
it's
Bert.
Cousin Bert again, coming to you with another update. Weather-wise, I don't know how things are there, but things here, I think there's a storm coming. Uncle Arthur paid me a visit this morning, you know, arthritis. And it's been acting up. My arthritis and my bursitis has been acting up, so I think there's some storms that
Weather
are coming.
report going.
Project-wise, on building the wheelchair costume, I've started taking my idea and turning it into a reality. I've got a lot of materials here. I've got some wood and some cardboard and my measuring tape and my
Got all the right
square.
stuff, yeah.
And I'm starting to build some things and put this idea together. I think you guys are
Right.
really going to like it and really going to enjoy it. I got your email today, too,
Good.
and I wanted to let you know, you and Reese both, that I took into serious consideration what you guys said in that email about making this thing lightweight, making it easily movable, making it easily put onable, where you can take it on and off the wheelchair very easily. And I've taken that into serious consideration. So I've kind of taken out the heavier metal pieces and all the heavier metal parts, and I'm working here primarily with some wood and some cardboard. I think you guys are really going to enjoy and really going to like the end result. Thank you.
Okay. Sounds like he's got a plan and he's moving along. So, all right. Well, let's see. Next, we have the continuation of the interview with Katherine Hogan, but this time we're joined by Felicia Hoffman, who is the mother of Jax, and he is the recipient of our next costume, our reveal for this episode. So let's check in with them, and you might even get the chance to see the costume that Katherine built. All right, we're back with the Walkin Rollin Costumes virtual party, and we were speaking with Katherine earlier in the episode, and tonight we are joined by Felicia Hoffman. Hello, Felicia.
Hello.
And with me, as always, is Reese.
Hello.
So he's got the first question for Felicia.
Felicia, would you mind telling us a bit about Jackson?
Okay, so Jackson is my son. He's 8 years old. He spent the first 5 years and 10 months in a hospital. 4 of those years was in ICU, and then 2 of them was in a therapy setting. He's been home now. Besides, he did have a stint in the hospital during COVID, shut in. But he actually has been home now for over 2 years. He is trached and ventilated. He was a micropreemie, hence the reason why he has had so many complications. The hospitalization in itself was all due to his prematurity and the lung disease that he had from prematurity. We've had a lot of run-ins with other complications, all basically due to hospitalization, illnesses, setbacks, and secondary now chronic illnesses that he now developed. So.
Well, thank you for sharing that. It's a lot. I know there's a lot that comes with having a child with special needs, and
Yeah.
so I appreciate your story. I know that when you applied for a costume from us, you talked about how your family likes to dress up kind of as a group costume.
Yeah. I got my costume in the mail today. I gotta wear pants underneath it.
Okay.
Yeah, this is good.
Well, before we learn more about that, what are some of the past costumes that your family has done together?
Okay, so and I had been a single mom for a long time, so mostly the kids have always kind of went as something. Jackson's first year, obviously he didn't really dress up in anything. He was in NICU and had just been trached just recently before Halloween. And then my oldest was into superheroes for a long time. So then Jackson and him went as superheroes. My daughter's first year after she joined the bunch, they were superheroes. Something like I think her first year she was Supergirl. Wolverine, my oldest was Wolverine, and Jackson went, I don't remember, he was just like a superhero. I don't remember I think it was just like a nightie, like one of those PJ sets, because he was in ICU at this point. But then we have a nurse that we went with that worked at the hospital, so she makes a lot of our costumes.
Okay.
She made him Olaf one year. Another year, my daughter went as Jesse, and then Jackson went as Buzz. My oldest didn't want to participate in that costume. The biggest, I think the best costume that we had so far was that nurse had made Jolie, my daughter's costume, as Princess Leia.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson was Yoda, and then my oldest boy was a stormtrooper, and then I was Darth Vader.
Nice.
Yeah, that one was kind of like, it was probably the best because my daughter's costume was literally a dog wig that she was wearing because she was so tiny, and she was like walking around the hospital trick or treating in this dog wig. Last year they were dang it.
I think it was Harry Potter.
Yes, that last year they were all the Harry Potter characters. Jackson, being a redhead, obviously went as Ron Weasley.
Sure.
And then my daughter, she's got that really messy like hair, so I like messed up as Hermione. But yeah, and then so we had a Make-A-Wish too, right? So we want Halloween's huge for us. Like, I like dressing up. I even do like the Halloween makeup because that's what my job as a cosmetologist. But the nurse from the hospital, which we're not even inpatient, there anymore. I got a hold of her, and she made almost every costume. Jackson was. We went to the Halloween party at Disney World, and he went as Peter Pan. My daughter was Tinkerbell. My oldest boy was Captain Hook.
Cute.
I went as Lost Boys. Like,
yeah.
My mom was Winnie, and my dad was I don't even know that guy's name.
Smee.
Yes. I was like, his name keeps slipping, but yeah, they were all good. They were all good participants because they all wore their costumes, and it was super hot. And
yeah, but you had a lot of fun.
We did.
Well, good. I think Reese has a question for Katherine.
Yeah.
When you were offered to create another costume for us this year, what drew you to this costume the most?
I loved A League of Their Own. I grew up on baseball. My dad loved baseball. Taught me everything about the sport. I've always loved baseball movies. It's just, it's just something that's just really just near and dear to my heart. And having just watched that movie again, like a week before Lon brought it to my attention, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like so fresh in my mind. And so it just seemed like a lot, like a really cool thing to do, just, because it's just such a fun movie. And I love that era, that 1940s era, and just so much opportunity to do some creative stuff with it. And I loved what, Lana described was Felicia's family's plans to dress the sisters up like the ball, like the Dottie and Kit. And and to bring all those pieces together. I do love a group costume too. It's always fun when one person's their character, but when you're in an ensemble, it really fills out the concept, and so it just was cool. I thought it was a really fun opportunity to do something creative and different and around a topic that I was like, woo, so excited about.
Sure. Well, and that was something I wanted to ask Felicia about was, most of the time we get costume requests that are very, kid-centered or something. And I thought it was unique for a league of their own as a costume. I thought that was such a great idea to do as a family. And, is this a movie that your family likes to watch, or,
No,
what? Just you? So you talked your kids into it?
Listen, they're very, like, they drive me crazy. But they pretty much will do whatever I ask them to do when it comes to costumes. Because what I do is I tell them, we got to dress up what I want to do first, and then I will buy you a costume that you can wear around later. I mean, because up until COVID, how many Halloween, opportunities you have these days to go trick-or-treating? You have trick-or-treats weeks. I think last year there was trunk-or-treat starting in September.
Yeah.
So I was like, we have trunk-or-treats, we have our church that we would go to, their big thing. If he is in a hospital, they have like 2 or 3 big things that we go through.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, you got to do what I want first. and plus my kids, like, they don't dress up hardly anymore, but especially when Jesse, my oldest, was a baby, like, they literally owned like every costume like we could find. Like my youngest now, she still comes walking around and like her Halloween costumes from years ago. So I just liked it. I just do what I want to do, and they just kind of go with it. And then Jackson's just a good sport because he doesn't really complain because he can't. Like, he just does what he wants. But, I thought he would like it because it was centered around his wheelchair, like it's not just because he won't. I did buy him a fedora. I did try to put it on him today when we got it in the mail, and he threw it. So I figured he can't throw the wheelchair design off. So, sure. and honestly, he loves baseball. Like, any sport that's on TV, Jackson is obsessed with. So, like I said, they'll pretty much listen to me. And my oldest is kind of grown out of dressing up. So I already told him, I said, I already ordered you a Jimmy Dugan costume. You're wearing it. And he was like, okay, fine. Like, no, I know. I already thought about it. I was like, that guy was kind of an alcoholic. So I'm not sure if that was
the
family appropriate, but I'm not family appropriate anyway. So.
That's what's fun about Halloween, though. You get to be things you wouldn't normally be in real life.
Sure.
That's true.
So, Felicia, and don't worry about Katherine being here, but so what did you think of the costume? What did you think of
I feel like it's very simple, like not simple in design, like simple I can put together, because at first I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be hard. I'm not gonna be able to put this together, especially with his hands not reaching for everything. But no, we loved it. Like, I sent a picture to my mom, and my boyfriend was at work, and I sent it, and they were like, that works. Like, that's great. And I was like, and it's so easy to put on. Like, I was so nervous that this wasn't going to fit, or he was going to be pulling things apart, which he did pull the microphone and stuff off of it. But we do plan on, gluing everything down, because I even said, I was like, I'm gluing that fedora down on this too. I was like, have it sitting right there next to the,
Sure.
I don't know yet. Yeah, I really liked it. It isn't like, I've seen some of the things that you guys have done. Mm-hmm. And I've seen, like, I can imagine what other families do ask for. But I didn't want something that extravagant. I didn't want something that was going to be hard for me to do, sure, or unrealistic for him. Like, he is just going to sit there and just keep hitting that button. I mean, he gets to have a good time with it, so that's fine, because he doesn't actually eat candy or anything like that. So this was more for just him to have fun versus actually trick-or-treating.
Right.
All right.
Jackson, hit it.
He's like, I am taking this microphone. I have something to say.
Can I hit it again?
Jackson.
Stop touching. You're so into the microphone. There you go. Push.
He's definitely reacting to that. Again, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. And we'll continue with the Walkin Rollin Costumes virtual party. So thank you.
Thank
And
you.
We'll
Bye.
talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Catherine, for such a wonderful costume for Jax, and thank you to Felicia for helping with that interview. It was great to see the finished product. So tonight's episode, we would like to acknowledge EquipBid Auctions. They have sponsored this episode, and not only by sponsoring it, they have also decided to offer a matching donation. So any donations that you send to Walkin Rollin Costumes in the next 24 hours will be matched by EquipBid Auctions up to $2,500. So please consider donating. We have multiple ways you can donate on our website, on the text line. So just consider donating, because you'll know that your donation goes twice as far. So thank you very much. And in order to kind of tell you a little bit about EquipBid Auctions, they have provided us a commercial. So let's roll that commercial.
Equip-bid.com. Equip-bid, equip-bid, equip-bid.com. When stores and restaurants liquidate, they auction stuff at a discount rate. Fixtures, power tools, ATVs, ovens that heat, and coolers that freeze. Equip-bid.com. Equip-bid.com. So go tell your dad and your new stepmom. Equip-bid.com. Same song, second verse. A little bit louder, a little bit worse. Fine art, furniture, figurines, arcade games, and soda machines. Bidding online is half the fun. Next thing you know, you'll holler, I won. Equip-bid.com. Equip-bid.com. So do it from your house or your new wigwam. Equip-bid.com. 2, 3, 4. Break it on down. I'll tell you more. Show it to your schnauzers. Type it in your browser. Shopping in your underwear and airing out your trousers. Spend a lot less on your new business with a button press that takes you to Equip-bid.com. Equip-bid.com. You're staring at your phone like a peeping Tom. Equip-bid.com.
That quite possibly was the best commercial I've ever seen. That is awesome. I'm so happy that we got to include that in our show. And again, please keep in mind that EquipBid is matching all donations up to $2,500. You can donate on our website or by your mobile device using the code WRC2020VP and text that to the number 707070. And thank you very much to EquipBid for offering that matching donation. Now, last night we had a trivia question that Reese provided, and for those of you who didn't see it, we're now gonna reveal the answer to it. So let's let Reese give the answer to the trivia question.
Last trivia question: what's the furthest location that we have had to ship a wheelchair costume? And the answer was Hawaii.
To Angela Sauce. She was the one who answered it correctly last night during our episode. So we actually acknowledged her last night as well, but we just want to do it again, that Angela won the 2020 t-shirt for answering that trivia question correctly. Now, there are other ways that you can help Walkin Rollin Costumes raise funds. We have a few different options. So we have a video that talks about some of the different options that you can do. Here at Walkin Rollin Costumes, we build costumes for kids in walkers and wheelchairs free of charge to the families. And in order to do that, we need your help. To keep these costumes free, we are always in need of donations and sponsorships to help fund the costumes and the supplies used to build them. So for the virtual party, we are offering some different opportunities for you as viewers to get something for your donation. So the first of which is the Buddy the Elf video conference call. You can schedule a 3-minute conference call with Buddy the Elf and schedule it with your child or anyone. You can record the call and be able to relive that moment over and over with your child. The next option is the Raffle Prizes. We are offering 6 different items as part of the raffle. And if you go to our website at www.walkinrollin.org/VP2020 for Virtual Party 2020, you can find the raffle prizes and see which ones you'd like to purchase tickets for in order to try and win one of the raffle items. The third option is to purchase one of our t-shirts that we have done for the past 4 years. And the 3 years prior to this, those shirts are being sold for $15, and we are limited to the number of sizes that we have available. So order quickly. The new shirt for 2020 was designed by John Nell, a local artist here in Kansas City, and it was voted by you, the fans, as the favorite choice for the design for the 2020 t-shirt. You can purchase that online through October 31st. There's no limit to the number that you can order on that one or which sizes. We will not print them until after October 31st. So order as many as you'd like. Those are being sold for $25 a piece, and all the t-shirts will be shipped free of charge to you. If you would like to reserve a call with Buddy the Elf, purchase raffle tickets, or purchase a t-shirt from Walkin Rollin Costumes, visit our website at walkinrollin.org/VP2020. Again, thank you for helping sponsor and donate to Walkin Rollin Costumes to help make all these costumes free for the families. Thank you.
Hey everybody out there in internet land, I am Uncle Bobby, just Twisted Halloween's friend, that's all. Just want to let you know that even though Twisted does not have a physical location this year, you can still shop Twisted Halloween online. It's twistedhalloweenkc.com. When you do, use the promo code WRC2020VP. This will save you 10% and it will donate 10% of your sale back to Walkin Rollin. Please follow us, like us. Thank you for supporting Walkin Rollin and this small business. It's you that's the true superhero.
And always remember that you can grab your mobile device. In fact, let's do that right now. How about everybody grab your mobile phone and text to the numbers 707070. Text the phrase WRC 2020 VP. That stands for Walkin Rollin Costumes 2020 Virtual Party. Text that and you will receive a link to that will allow you to choose how much you would like to donate to us. It can be a single donation or it can be a monthly recurring donation. But it's all just by texting that WRC 2020 VP to the number 707070. Thank you.
I have another t-shirt to give away. So let's see the next trivia question for tonight.
Here we go.
Tonight we are giving away a Walkin Rollin Costumes 2020 t-shirt to whoever answers this Walkin Rollin Costumes trivia question first in the comments below. What costume was the first one we built for more than one child? The first person to answer the question correctly in the comments below wins a free 2020 Walkin Rollin Costumes t-shirt. Good luck! I'd like to introduce our next guest who did a testimony, who is a personal friend of mine. His name is Tom Noss.
Hi everyone, my name is Tom Noss. I am an occupational therapist at Ability KC. I have a spinal cord injury. I was injured when I was 18 years old, and I am also a wheelchair athlete. I found out about Walkin Rollin Costumes several years ago. I first heard about them at the Midwest Ability Summit. They had a booth there. They still have a booth there. And last year I was lucky enough to help Lon and Reese and some other volunteers make some costumes, and I had a blast. Lon and Reese are great people, and their organization, Walkin Rollin Costumes, is very important. As a kid, Halloween was my favorite holiday. Every year I would look forward to planning a costume. I would look forward to dressing up, trick-or-treating, and then of course eating lots and lots and lots of candy. But for some kids with disabilities, finding the right costume can be a challenge. And for others, finding any costume can be a challenge. And Lon and Reese make and design amazing costumes for these kids that are cooler than anything that I could ever dream of. So that they can wear them for Halloween or whatever other event they choose. Over the last 30 years, our society has made great gains in disability awareness and reform. But there are still many barriers for individuals with disabilities. And Walkin Rollin Costumes is helping kids realize that they can still be a part of society and that they can still participate in these traditions that their able-bodied peers can easily participate in and that have always participated in. It isn't just about dressing up for Halloween. Lon and Reese put their heart and soul into these costumes to break barriers and so that all children can feel included. I had a great time last year. I hope to help out every year. And Lon and Reese, thank you for all you do. And I hope to see you at Halloween.
Thank you, Tom, for that testimonial. Now, one of the things that a lot of people do to help volunteer with Walkin Rollin Costumes is start a team building experience. And they can do that with their office or any project, group of people that they want to do. And I wanted to give, a brief story on how this works. If you go to our website at www.walkinrollin.org/volunteer, you'll see different ways that you can volunteer with Walkin Rollin Costumes. And at the bottom, there is a form that you can fill out as either an individual or as a group. And this works for both businesses or just groups of people who want to do it as a project together. Now, a couple years ago, we had one of our fans reach out to us about wanting to do a team building experience. And the name of the company was Finite Engineering. Now, this was an engineering group that had a lot of talented people. They did a lot of CAD drawings and all kinds of things on the computer and built small machine parts and different things like that. And the thought of building something different with their skills just intrigued them. And so they had us come out and talk to them and kind of show examples of what we do. And you could just see their eyes start to light up. It's like, oh my gosh, we can do so many different things. This will be so easy, so fun. And, before they knew it, they had picked a child that they were building a costume for, and the designers were sketching out all kinds of incredible concepts and designs, and they were building this unique costume. I don't want to say what it is because their story is going to be featured in episode 9 of the virtual party. But they did such a wonderful job on this costume, and they have done a second costume for us this year. So you'll get to see the costume that they built a couple years ago and the brand new one that they built this year. But it's all through a team building experience. And so it's something that I encourage anyone to think about if their job might be a type of job where they could do this type of work. Just look it up on our website at the volunteer page on our website. And, just read through some of the ideas that we have on there and ways that you can help. So let's see what we have on tomorrow's episode. Tomorrow's episode is going to be, we're going to be talking about schools. And and so it's the school STEM program. We have partnered with multiple high schools, middle schools, even a couple colleges to build these costumes as part of their educational learning experience. And so we're going to be talking with a teacher, as well as one of the students that helped build the costumes, as well as Davey, who you see pictured there. We're going to get his take on the whole experience as the child who received a costume built by the school classes.
The very first school that built one. Costume.
Yeah. So you'll hear all about that story tomorrow on the 4th episode of the Walkin Rollin Costumes virtual party. So you don't want to miss that one. It's really good. So in closing, we want to show you how you can reach out to us if you have any questions or want to get involved. You can reach us at our website at www.walkinrollin.org, or you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Vero. And I'm receiving messages that we did we forget a trivia question tonight? I think we said it. Didn't we do a trivia question?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, we did a trivia question. All right, so I'm sorry, whoever the person that texted that might need to rewind and watch back, because we did ask the trivia question, and so far as I know, no one has answered it yet, so it's still free game. So try and answer the trivia question to get the free 2020 t-shirt. And then remember our mobile device, you can text the code WRC2020VP to 707070, and that will take you to a form that you can pick how much you would like to donate to Walkin Rollin Costumes. And keep in mind that all donations for the next 24 hours are matched by EquipBid up to $2,500. So be sure and get your donation in the next 24 hours. And then we have a lot of people to thank for tonight's episode. We would like to thank Katherine Hogan for doing the interview about the building the costumes over the years, the 4 costumes she's built, Felicia Hoffman, Tom Noss, and our sponsor, EquipBid Auctions. Then we would also like to thank Jason Hunt from Sci-Fi For Me for producing this video, Chris Rude for editing and interviewing, Twisted Halloween for their promotion, Buddy the Elf. Remember that you can always request your video interview with Buddy the Elf on our website. Thanks to John Nell for designing the 2020 virtual party t-shirt. And then to the Davis family for everything they sacrifice. Let's see. What else? Oh, yes. You got the Buddy the Elf. You can do this at the walkinrollin.org/VP2020. You can reserve your call with Buddy the Elf. Don't forget the raffle prizes. We have tickets that you can order to win one of the prizes that we're giving away. And then you can also order your t-shirts, all 4 designs at walkinrollin.org/VP2020. So thank you. Again, my name is Lon Davis.
And I'm Reese Davis.
And we are the co-founders of Walkin Rollin Costumes. I'd like to say thanks for watching, stay safe, and keep rolling from home.
I want to reach more kids, and the only way to do that is to have more volunteers. I want to see every child that wants one of these costumes to get one. If you know a teacher at a high school, or a Boy Scout troop leader, a Girl Scout troop leader, any type of group or organization that would like to attempt to build one of these costumes or to help out a child, contact us. We have lots of resources. We have plenty of people willing to help build these costumes, but we need to get the message out. So share this video, let them know about what we do, why we do it, and get us in contact with kids who might need a costume, or any adults or families that would like to help build a costume. We're here for you.